Hello YouTube, Flightsimguy here. Today I'm going to do a review of the NXGN simulations Citation CJ4X for FSX and P3D. I am at Port Columbus. I'm going to take this bird for a quick hop over to Cincinnati, which is about 100 miles down the road, and in the process give this aircraft a one-over. Now, I tried finding out a lot information on this Cessna jet by searching YouTube, and I didn't find any videos. I did not see any reviews for this plane, so I figured I'd take the dive and buy it and do a quick review. And I think I know why. This aircraft, it's available. Got a loud airport noise. This aircraft is available on Sim Market and FS Pilot Shop, but it's a little bit steep. It's about $28. Okay, and the thing about it is, it's compatible with all versions of FSX and all versions of P3D, and there's a reason for that. First up, this bird has an FMC, but it's not a real FMC. It's a FMC Lite, and it doesn't support a Navigraph database, and it only uses stock FSX waypoints, which are airports, VOR stations, Vortex, and NDB stations, and I think that may have turned off a lot of people. Okay, now having said that, you know, it's a good-looking Citation. Let's check out the exterior. Open up the door here. I think they did a very good job with the modeling. Looks very nice, and there are other CRJs on the market, most notably Coronado. But this one here, I think, you know, it's going to surprise you. Looks very good. Decent modeling. All right, so the cost, $28. That's kind of steep for a plane that doesn't support Navigraph waypoints or a real flight management computer. Having said that, like I said, this bird will surprise you. Alright, we're done checking out the outside. Let's go ahead and go to the inside and poke around. It's a Cessna jet, so there's nothing. Let's see if this works with the batteries off, and it doesn't. There's no overhead. Everything is right in front of you. And this is, with regards to the color, I guess this is aluminum. So it looks a little bit different, but, you know, everything is nice and sharp. And they spend a decent amount of time on the aesthetics, so we'll give them credit for that. Let's go ahead and poke around. Let's make sure that my thing is, yep, there it is. I haven't set up any cameras for this yet. I'll do that afterwards. Alright, let's hit A. There's a lot of 2D cockpits here. This outfit that developed this aircraft did not throw away the 2D cockpit feature. Now, personally, I think that time would have been better spent on an iPad. I think all new aircraft... Oh, by the way, speaking of new aircraft, this was released mid to late October. Actually, Friday, 22nd September 2017. It's a relatively new aircraft. I think their time that they spent on, and I'm just hitting the A button here, on the 2D cockpit, they could have spent that effort on an iPad. Alright, so what we're doing here, it's a virtual cabin. Got a nice wing view right there. And since I have a chase plane, this is a good opportunity for me to set up some good cameras here. This is an over-the-wing view. Very nice. Over-the-wing view again. And here we are in the cockpit. Let's go through our shift keys. By the way, this add-on also comes with documentation, 120 pages. And I think that's an awful lot of documentation for a plane without a custom, without a complete flight management computer. Like I said, this aircraft will surprise you. Shift 1, 2D cockpit. Shift 2, Shift 3, Shift 4, Shift 5. That's the panel in front of you. Shift 6, Shift 7. These are your lights. Shift 8, Shift 9, and that's your starter. Okay, let's remove the yoke. All you do is go to the bottom, click on that. I think that's pretty standard. Let's go over this thing inch by inch. Alright, these are your radio controls. COM 1, COM 2. Some of the stuff, with regards to the virtual cockpit, you would think that by not implementing a thorough flight management computer, that everything is modeled. Not everything is modeled. There's quite a bit on here that you can't click on. For example, this DME2. DME1 works, but not DME2. The marker beacon here works. ADF. The speaker obviously isn't modeled, and that makes sense. Vox. And these buttons are not modeled. They only give you what you need to sustain a good simming experience. Here's your electrical panel, your generators, battery master, standby flight display. Here's your emergency lights, avionics master. Here you have your hydraulics, oxygen supply, pull to cut off, push to restore, oxygen mask. These are your O2 systems, hydraulics. These are your boost pumps, fuel transfer. Can't imagine whether you can click on this, but it doesn't do anything. Cockpit temperature. Pilot fan, climate control. FADEC is not simulated. Pressurization. And over here you have your de-icing systems. And over here you have some buttons that relate to this, or your displays. We'll go over those in a second. Now, if you look at this, here you have a flight management computer, which is their FMC light. And over here, you can't see it, but here's where you manage your radios. Okay. This looks like it's two independent flight management computers, and the other, I've seen real flights, or YouTube videos where pilots fly the real thing, and there's usually one flight management computer down here. But essentially what this is, here's your FMC light, and over here is where you're programming your radios. I haven't spent any time with this. I'll tinker with it. We can go through that together. Down here you have your lighting systems. And here you have your throttles. Here is your spoilers. And there is no partial. It's either all the way. And here is your flaps. Here's your engine start. They're caged. And down here you have your engine starter. This is your run stop. My bad. Here's your engine starter, and here your aileron, rudder, and elevator trim. And you have this is also over here for these screens. And over here, let's go ahead and get rid of this. You have some more AC controls, your flight hour meter. Here's your ELT, your emergency locator transmitter, and these are the radio controls for the co-pilot side. Alright, now let's take a look at the guidance panel. Here is your EFIS, which controls what you can display on here. We'll go through that when we start her up. It must simulate engine fires, since you have a fire extinguisher. You have your master warning and your master caution. And here you have your autopilot, landing gear switch, pilot reversion. I have absolutely no idea what these is, which is good because it's not simulated. Alright, now I think that's about it. Now they've taken some liberties with this aircraft, and I'll show you what I'm talking about once we get this thing into the air. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fly from Columbus to Cincinnati. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch in a really, really basic flight plan. In fact, let me go over to Sky Vector. And the flight plan is essentially, or try to punch in a flight plan anyway. It's your departure, your destination, and one waypoint in the middle, which is a VOR station. Let's go ahead and restore yoke on this side. Alright. And that's your emergency brakes. Let's go ahead and set the emergency brakes. Right there. And let's see if we can get this bird going. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start her up. Alright. And then once we start her up, I'll go ahead and make an attempt to program a flight plan. And then we'll just fly this bird. Take her for a quick hop. Alright, let's go ahead and hop in. Close the door. And put myself into the cockpit. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and start the engines first, because if this thing gives me a hard time, it may very well die on me. Alright, so really should read the manual. Let's give it a shot. Okay, battery master on. We'll go ahead and turn on the generators. Alright. Turn on the fuel boost pumps. And you know what? Let's give it a shot. Control E. Or is it Shift E? Nope, Control E. There we go. Alright, so I did a Control E and I was able to start the engines. What that tells me is the actual start sequence probably isn't that very difficult. This plane doesn't have an APU, and I don't see where you can call up a GPU card. Probably can. If I read the manuals, I'd know. But the point is, it really doesn't take much to start this up. You turn on your batteries, turn on your fuel boost, turn on your igniters, and just go ahead and press start. And now we have both engines running. Let's take a look at our fuel. Got plenty of fuel. We're at 52% N2. And let's see if we can punch in a quick flight plan. Alright. Now here's your radio stack. And you don't need all this stuff for a radio stack. Let's come over here. Alright, index. Ident, position init. Set IRS position, last position. Okay. I'm not seeing where you can do anything here. Let's go to route. We are going from KCMH. And we're going to KCVG. Victor Golf. Alright, route request. I think this is going to do what I think it's going to do. That's in up. Clear. Next page. Here we go. And our intermediate waypoint is this VOR station right here, which is Midwest 112.9. NXGN. That should be in the Microsoft Waypoint database. And it is. Alright. Execute isn't simulated. Let's do a perf init. Okay, doesn't like that. Cost index, transition altitude, cruise altitude. We're actually going to cruise at about 10,000 feet. Okay. It's not allowing me to enter anything in my reserves. Cost index, transition altitude. There is no execute. Okay, let's go to, there should be a button here for flight plan. There's my legs, my single waypoint. There we go. Route, fix, previous. Alright, here we go. This has got to be it. That's my legs. Okay, this is my progress page. Alright, it's a really basic flight management computer. Only uses what's in the Microsoft database. Let's see here. Takeoff. Oh yeah, if you click on it, it pops out. Pops in, pops out. Ditto for over here. It doesn't have anything for takeoff and approach. It has perf. Position init, which really doesn't matter since it's not a real FMC. Ident. This just shows what kind of plane it is. And here's your nav data. Airport. Enter identifier. Oh yeah. Alright, so since this uses the let's do this. KCVG. Okay. It pulls up the location of the airport, and it actually shows you what runways and what the frequencies are. So all it's doing is, this is a very simple computer that interfaces with the database within the simulator that shows you all the airport information. The same database that the Avlisoft electronic flight bag uses. Now I don't know what runway I'm going to land at, so it's a good reference tool. And here you have your VOR stations. Enter ident. Ugh. Let's do MXQ. That's our single waypoint in between. And all it shows you here is the frequency and the longitude and latitude. Arrival ILS. I don't know what my arrival ILS is going to be. Auto tune. Enter ILS frequency. So, all right. So to tune, let's talk about your radios. Okay, this should be another flight management computer, but it's not. And here's how you tune your radios. I know that I want to get 122 to get a weather briefing from Active Sky. What you got to do is you mouse over the frequency here, which is a little bit unusual. They've taken some liberties with this add-on and how things are supposed to work. And this is one of the things that they and there it is right there. And you click this to swap them back and forth. Same over here. There. Yeah, you select it with this button, and then you come over here and change the frequency. I've never seen that before. Active nav, and here's your COM1, COM2. But here you have your nav1 here and your nav2 here. Nav1 standby. Active. So your standby and your active is the same interface right here. That is very bizarre, but it works. And here is your TCAS. Your squawking. Come down here and mouse over, and we can make it 2200. Alright, so it takes a little bit of tinkering, but the radio is a little bit weird. Alright, let's go ahead and turn on our lights. Turn on a taxi. Turn on a strobe. There we go. And as far as lights go, you can also turn these lights on. There we go. So for better visibility. We're burning up fuel here, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and go through this. Our barometric pressure is 2983. So where it says bar right here, just come over here and scroll. 2983 is right there. And this swaps your nav source. In this case, we're going to be flying with the VOR. But I entered the flight plan. Okay, and here it is right here. It shows up on FMS1. And this is your range. See? It shows you, it zooms into the range. And here is our flight over here. do one more. There it is right there. Let's go ahead and set 2 notches flaps, or 1 notch flaps. Flaps 15. That's what it looks like on the outside there. And I'll keep this one right here, and I'll keep this one over here. Let's go ahead and set takeoff 27 right there. And let's go ahead and set our altitude 10,000 feet. Alright, now this knob right here, this is your speed knob. This plane does not have an auto throttle, the real one anyway. Actually, I don't know that for a fact. If it does, that's quite surprising because most small jets don't have an auto throttle. But this plane actually simulates an auto throttle using the speed button, and if you're not careful, it's going to get you in trouble. But I'll show you that later. Alright, let's go ahead and do a pushback. And let's get departure to the south. Okay, let's see what the lights are saying. Fuel boost on, parking brake. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and turn off the parking brake. Still be pushed out. Okay, we're looking good. Emergency lights not armed. Alright. Fuel boost pumps are still on. We'll turn those off. And it's pretty cold outside, so let's turn on our pitot heat. There we go. There we go. Okay, my rudder seems to be working fine this time. Yesterday it wasn't working at all. And my throttle is acting weird. My throttles are coupled together. I can't accelerate one engine by itself. Alright. Alright. Let's get into position here. Go ahead and stop. Set the brakes. Turn off taxi lights. Well, taxi lights and landing lights are together. Weird. Turn that on. Oh, also, let's see here. Vehicle instrument panel. Got more with a radar. I'll go ahead and use that once I'm in the air. This is going to be a very quick flight, by the way. Now, according to this, my flight heading is 240. Let's check my trim. Keep the trim, no takeoff. All right. So there we go. All right, we're in takeoff range. Flaps are good. TCAS is on. Let's go ahead and call. Request takeoff clearance.
069er, clear for takeoff. Runway 28 left, departure to the south approved.
All right.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 28 left, Air Force 069er.
All right, let's see what this bird has to offer. We're just going to do a rolling takeoff. Yesterday when I played with this plane, I had to use differential braking. Evidently that's not required now. Whoa! Straighten up.
Northwest 667, exit runway when able.
Alright. Throttles up. Okay, having a hard time keeping it in the middle. Rotate. Angle of attack indicator right here, very useful. Positive rate, gear up.
Northwest 667, turn next taxiway. Air Force 069er, you are leaving my airspace, frequency change approved.
Thank you. Now, look at this. I'm climbing at a decent climb rate, and look at my speed. I'm already over speeding. And I heard these Cessna planes are notorious for being underpowered. Let's go ahead and do this. Alright, let's get on course. Flaps up. Come right, 240. Now the flight model, I won't lie fellas, it feels very, very nice. It feels great. This from a guy who's never actually flown a Cessna jet. But it feels kind of realistic. Now, I'm already at almost 10,000 feet. I'm not sure if the thrust to weight ratio is modeled accurately. There we go, 240. And let's go ahead and come off the gas. Slow down. Let's take a look at the outside. It's a good looking plane, it really is. It feels great, it looks great. And the sound packs, it's all good. Sounds very, very good. Now, let me see if I can demonstrate to you what I was talking about. And I only have 100 miles, so see if I can keep this. Now, with your heading, pushing doesn't do any good. You gotta use your thing right here to turn. Altitude, we're coming down 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and trim up. There we go. Alright, watch this. Autopilot. Heading. And when you turn on the autopilot things, they show up right here. Alright? And vertical speed, I'll take it back up to 10,000 feet. And here's your vertical speed. And you move it up. There. And here's your bug. And now the plane's climbing. Now, watch this. Flight level change. Alright. See? It's behaving like an autothrottle. And to the best of my knowledge, these planes don't have no damn autothrottle. And it took me a while to figure out how to turn the damn thing off. Because once you turn off the autopilot using this button right here,
autopilot.
I'm moving my knob. This is not moving. It's still stuck. And then you have to change your speed here. If you turn off the autopilot, this is still engaged. Clicking this doesn't change anything. To turn off your quote-unquote autothrottle, you have to have the autopilot on, and then hit that to get that to disappear. See? Over here. Do that. And now you have control of your throttle again. So that's what I don't like about this. I mean, they've taken some liberties with how this plane is supposed to work. And you know, it's just a little bit annoying, and they don't spell it out real good in the documentation. Alright, let's get back on course.
327 at 10.
Alright.
10. Sky conditions.
Winds are coming from the north, so we're going to do 36 left.
Temperature 2, dew point -1. Altimeter 2986. Advise on initial contact.
Alright, let's do 36 left. Alright. We're nice and stable here. Let's come over here. Enter ILS frequency. First, let's go ahead and clear this. And let's enter KCBG. Airport. Runways. We want, let's do 36 right. 110.350. One 110.350. Alright, so I've auto-tuned the ILS there. All I need to do is fly to intercept it. Alright, my current heading is, I'm flying approximately west. So I'm coming in from the east. So that was pretty convenient. Let's close this window. All I need to do is fly the pattern. Alright, we'll maintain the current altitude. 5,000 feet. I'm a little bit high. Ceiling's 3,200 feet. So let's do this. Let's get down. Trim down a little bit. Come off the gas. Heading towards the airport. All we need to do is get down below 3,200 feet. And I'm heading west. So all I need to do is do a 180. There we go. We got visibility. Let's go ahead and fly the pattern. I'm not sure how far out we are. Make a turn to 180. That's south. Alright, we're going to keep it right here. Trim up. Maintain this. It's very, very stable in flight. Very, very easy to fly. Alright, it looks like runways 36 left and 36 right are receiving all the traffic. What the hell? I hate when that happens. Alright. Landing runways right behind me. Yeah. Alright, flaps 1. Let's go ahead and do a U-turn. This is below me. That's fine. Coordinated turn. Okay, make sure the autopilot's off. Gas. Get into the ILS. Okay. We're looking good, folks. We're looking good. And this plane is flying very nicely. It's flying very nicely. Okay. This is above me. That's fine. We should have a runway in front of us shortly. Go to the left of it a little bit. I can recover. Okay. Go. Gear down. Alright, a lot of incoming traffic here. There's our runway. I didn't call. That's okay. Arm the speed brakes. Landing lights on. Gear down. Flaps. Still a little bit fast. Let's bleed off some speed here. On a touchdown at about 110-ish. Angle of attack is perfect. Okay, we'll keep it at flaps. There's only 2 notches of flaps on this thing. 15 and 35, so. Alright, full flaps. And there's a nice long line of planes getting ready to take off. Alright, what's happening here? That guy's just sitting there? Is that it? Nope, he's doing his takeoff roll. And ATC won't tell that other guy to position and hold until he's clear of the runway. And for some reason, he's still on the runway. So that gives me a slot to land. Okay, what's your problem? Uh-oh. Do a go around here. Flaps up. Gear up. There seems to be a bird sitting on the runway. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Alright, so essentially just flying the pattern. Alright, so all I have to do is fly the pattern. Alright, we're clean. Flaps up, gear up. Making our turn to our upwind. What's our altitude? 4,000 feet. Yeah, I'm not sure if the real jet is this powerful. Get me this high up this fast. Alright, I'm back into the ILS. The glide slope. A little bit fast. Let's go ahead and make our turn. To base. Bleed off some speed. This is below me. Still having a hard time with my trim. So I got to trim it all the way down just to make it fly level and straight. Alright, let's try this again.
Cincinnati Tower, make straight in, runway 36, right, altimeter
Turning to intercept the localizer.
2500.
Cincinnati Tower, Delta Niner 668 is 60 miles south, inbound ILS, runway 36, right approach. Delta Niner 668, Cincinnati Tower, fly straight in, runway 36, right, altimeter 29
Okay,
Niner.
there's a runway right there.
Autopilot. Straight in, runway 36, right, Delta Niner
Flaps 1.
668, Delta 1072, turn next taxiway.
Gear down.
Cincinnati Tower, Delta 6166, ready for IFR departure, runway 36 right.
5194, go around. Delta 6166, hold short, runway 36. Delta 1072, contact ground on 121.3. Delta 6166, cleared for takeoff, runway 36, right. Cincinnati Tower, Delta 548 is 44 miles south, inbound ILS, runway 36, right, approach. 5194, contact Cincinnati approach on 121.0. Delta 5248, Cincinnati Tower, make straight in, runway 36, right, altimeter 2989er. Airport 069er, cleared to land.
Oh, yeah, so the prog doesn't say anything about fuel. Doesn't say anything about anything, actually.
Right, Delta 5248.
Alright, we're too high.
121.0, 51904. Cincinnati Tower, Delta 36 is 27 miles south, inbound ILS, runway 36, right.
Normally I do a go around with these high approaches, but these small jets, they can handle it. Alright, let's get into the ILS. And we're going to shut her down this time.
Cincinnati Tower, Delta 303, ready to go, runway 36, right, IFR, Columbus. Delta 303, hold short, runway 36, right, traffic is Cessna on final.
That'll be me, folks. That'll be me. Alright, let's go ahead and straighten out here. Okay, angle of attack is perfect.
Delta 360.
To get into the thing right here.
Inbound ILS, runway 36
Go.
right.
We're at full.
Delta 616.
Let's go to full flaps.
Contact Cincinnati departure on 121.0.
There we go.
Delta 36, Cincinnati Tower, make straight in, runway 36, right, altimeter 2989.
Okay. Into the ILS perfectly.
36 right, Delta 36.
Bring the engines back to life.
500.
121.0, Delta 6166.
We're at full flaps. Gear down. Landing lights on.
For Delta 1072.
Spoilers armed.
400.
Yeah, whenever you go through an altitude, this thing reminds you.
300.
Okay, we're perfectly lined up. Vertical speed is good.
Airport 069er, please acknowledge.
God damn it.
Clear to land, runway 36, right, Airport
200.
069er.
Cincinnati Tower, Delta 616, 7 miles south.
A little bit fast.
Runway 36 right approach.
100.
Delta 616.
Marker's working fine.
Fly straight
There's that crap that happens whenever you land and take off. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Delta 1770, cleared to land, runway 36, right, follow the aircraft on short final.
Okay.
Delta 616, cleared to land, runway 36, right, number 2.
There is no reverse thrusters.
MT-90 on final.
It's doing that just fine.
Cleared to land, runway 36, right, Delta 1770. Airport 069er.
Flaps up.
Taxi lane.
Clear to land, runway 36 right, number 2. Delta 616.
Yeah, see that lighting thing right there? I'm not sure what that's all about. I don't like it.
Inbound ILS, runway 36.
Alright, that was a good landing.
Airport 069er, contact ground on 121.3.
And my overall assessment for this bird, it's a good plane.
Runway 36. Altimeter 2988.
It's a good plane.
Cleared to land. Runway 36, right, number
$28, a little bit steep.
737 on final.
Having said that, what it does very well. I don't like that it deviates from convention. For example, someone who flies this jet in another publisher, from another publisher, think they can get in here and know how everything works. Well, no. I don't like what they did with the auto throttle. Okay, is this guy coming towards me? What it does very well. And it looks good. And it sounds good. I would have asked $25 instead. And the fact that you can't program an old school SIDS and stars, you know, that just forces you to fly the plane manually, which I think is a good thing because it's fun to fly. Ooh. Stop it right here. Nice top-down view of Cincinnati Airport. Alright, so the weirdest thing just happened. First I need to get back into the cockpit. Just did a replay. A couple weird things happened. First of all, I tried to do the replays. For some reason, the replays ran with my spoilers out. And as you can see, those are some nice, fine-looking spoilers. Okay? And I know that when I was coming into land, I didn't have the spoilers out, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But those are some fine-looking spoilers. Let's bring them back in. And there's a lot of good views here. View, change view, outside, aircraft, top view, right trailing, left trailing, flyby, mid-tail camera, landing gear. Ooh. There's a lot of good views that came with this aircraft. So, you know, a little bit weird, but yeah, I got some replays there, and it was a pretty decent landing. All right, now the shutdown. Let me see. I'm gonna kill the fuel flow. Whoa! What the hell was that? Alright. Something happened with my SciTech configurations. I have no idea what the hell's going on. But all my buttons... Whoa, what the hell? All my buttons got all screwed up. Alright. Anyhow, let's go ahead and shut this thing down. I'll go ahead and fix my yoke in a second. Right click or click on here. Stop. Stop. And just turn all of this stuff off. My final verdict for this plane, it's a thumb and a half up. It's a very good plane. It's easy to fly. Comes with thorough documentation. They've taken liberties with how things are implemented. You just have to figure them out. The biggest thing I don't like was their implementation of an auto throttle. I did not like that at all. Did not like that at all. Their implementation of the radio stack and the quote-unquote flight management computer, you know, you get what you pay for. I mean, you know. That said, I think... Close window. Close window. I think this is a good add-on. And I had fun flying it. Definitely. Open the door. Has a virtual cabin. You know, good model. Flies good. I think this is a good add-on. Thumb and a half up. And that's it for now. I've been on here too long. I hope you guys found this video interesting. My name is Flightsimguy. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.